Dr. Bradley Meyer of the Okoboji Wellness Clinic. How are you today?
Oh, I'm epic. I'm doing so good. I'm excited to have a great guest with us today.
You do? You have Molly Avery with us. I'll let you introduce Molly.
Molly has been with me over the course of the last 2 to 3 years, and she is a guru when it comes to detoxing and helping the body heal itself from a nutritional perspective. She's super amazing with what supplements to take and when. And so when folks come into the clinic here, many of them, when they're trying to feel better, when they're trying to get less inflammation going, more energy, less brain fog, Molly is an integral part of the team here, and she is so good with folks when they come in to just kind of break things down. In fact, we had somebody come in that she worked in with recently that had diabetes, and that person was just blown away. He's like, well, I've had this for a while. Why haven't I? Nobody's ever explained it to me the way that she did. And so she is able to just, in a really, really comfortable fashion, whatever the concern is, she's so good.
Well, I'm really excited about visiting with Molly here because I've, ever since the advent of COVID, I've been following some healthcare professionals, and I had no idea what role, especially processed food, played in inflammation. And one of the things that really, and especially visiting with Dr. Meyer, seems to affect our overall health is inflammation and gut health. And you work on both of those, Molly.
Yes. Hi. Morning. We do. We work on definitely gut health and focusing on lowering overall inflammation.
So, Molly, you're a functional nutritionist and a detox specialist. And so, in a summary, when people come into you and say, oh, Molly, I'm not feeling very good. I'm tired and my ankles hurt when I get out of bed in the morning. What are some of the common themes that you run into?
Some of the common themes are people still have not kind of put together the food that they are eating is causing a lot of their problems. Or they may have read something that this food was healthy or is healthy, but yet they don't know it isn't healthy for them. And so we can have the best superfood out there, and everybody can hear the greatest, podcast on this superfood and order it and start taking it, and then they think, well, what the heck's going on? I don't feel any difference. I don't feel better. And that's what we really like to do, is kind of hone in and go through a person's diet and what they're eating, so that we can find where it is they're tripping themselves up and actually causing inflammation, which is the opposite of what they're going for. But they are it's so confusing out there today with what to eat, what not to eat.
The other
thing... So we really try to dial that in.
Yeah, and the other thing and this is going to be a little controversial, but so be it. Sometimes when we see things over years and years and years, and they give us this thing called the food pyramid, we kind of think, well, that's got to be right. It has to be right for us. That's not necessarily true.
Correct. Yeah, that's not necessarily true. You can never go wrong eating real food, organic, fresh food. And a lot of messages we get often is such as, oh, you can eat this packaged product because it's fortified and it has these vitamins and has these minerals in it. And so we think, oh, well, that's convenient, that's easy, or that's in the freezer section, and it says that it's fortified, it has my vitamins. But people don't realize ultimately that ends up being kind of dead food to the body. And so what I really try to educate people on, and what they're often blown away by, is just beginning to incorporate more, real food, such as having a salad or having one ingredient type of product. For instance, have an avocado or have an apple, where we're not making everything so difficult and complicated in a processed package. That the more we step away from those real food items, the worse we're going to feel. And when people do that and make these simple changes of like, oh, I added broccoli to my diet, or I added this one thing, I added some kale to my smoothie, just these little tweaks can help people start feeling so much better, because they're getting actual real vitamins and minerals that they didn't realize, because they keep buying all this packaged stuff like packaged smoothies and not feeling better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and it's difficult for people, and the grocery people, they're very good at this, because they do make things extremely convenient. And so we pick things up because they're convenient, maybe not all that healthy.
Absolutely. And I'm all for convenience. And so what I also try to help people is we talk through food ideas. We talk through things that are not going to take an hour to prepare, not going to be difficult, to put together and have it be healthy. And that's really probably the biggest frustration I hear from people is, I'm tired after work, I don't have time, we just go fast food it because that's the easiest thing, it tastes good. And then they keep on this cycle of not feeling good because the fast food is so inflammatory. And we often call some of those things that you purchase there anti-nutrients. And an anti-nutrient is something that you're eating that actually robs you of more vitamins and minerals, your reserves, than prior to you eating it. So you might eat something that's an anti-nutrient, say a lot of sugar, and you're going to be depleted. Your body is going to be depleted of some of its B vitamins and its minerals. So you end up in a more inflamed state after eating. I often tell people every choice you make matters. So what you eat is either going to be inflammatory, or what you eat is either going to be anti-inflammatory, and you get to choose. And just educating people on that, understanding that their choices do matter, and that everything they eat is either going to move them towards that inflammation or away from it, can really be an impactful piece on people thinking that way, and then pausing before they go to the convenience store and just getting, a candy bar because they're hungry.
It's interesting that we're visiting with you today, because I visited with a college football coach, and a college football coach was talking about how, especially in high school athletes now, every high school athlete that wants to get somewhere, they now work out and they now lift weights. They all do it. The two areas that this high school football coach said that the only place to make gains now is through nutrition and sleep. These are the two untapped areas of making the body the best it can be. And this is why you play such a big role at Okoboji Wellness Clinic, because you know how big a role nutrition can play in making us feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And sleep. So we do try to integrate all those pieces of with more functional nutrition. We look at, or as a group, but I also look at not just the nutrition, but we do go over lifestyle. We do go over how is your sleep? Are you, how many hours are you getting? What's this look like? Are you able to fit exercise into your day? What's your stress level like? And so we really try to get a whole picture and try to kind of support and give suggestions and reframe things when we can, so they can be moving in a better direction for themselves, for their health.
All right, now we're already out of time, and we could talk to you forever, but I want to touch on supplements a little bit. All supplements are not created equal, and some people need to take certain supplements. Some people do not. How do you figure that puzzle out?
Some of that can come from the intake that they have that is correlated to their symptoms, what's going on. So, if someone's getting a lot of muscle cramps and things, we look at their diet. Where are you getting calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium? What does that look like? Do you need an electrolyte in your diet? So some of that comes from tweaking things, and after we get their intake, what their symptoms are. And then another part is we do have testing we can look at what might be missing. So those would probably be the top two.
All right, well, Dr. Meyer, I can see why she's a very important part of the team. It's all part of the puzzle, but we have learned with our journey with you that inflammation and gut health is the drivers on how we feel on a daily basis, how we peel back those layers of the onion, and Molly helps you do that.
Absolutely. It's so much fun to work with folks, and we have that extended period of time that we can sit down with folks and as we talk, peel the layers off the onion, and we've got all the different tools in the tool belt, and it sometimes small changes can be big changes for folks, and you change one or two things, you add in a couple modalities like a hyperbaric, some supplements, and it's incredible to see people's progress where they may have been just kind of plateauing or not getting ahead, feeling like they're kind of stuck for months and years. And like the gal that came from just outside of Chicago last week, that gluten was inflaming her, and she was 15 years old with a foot drop. And in the course of the 2 weeks between me talking to her about gluten and the inflammation that was causing her and coming to the clinic, her foot drop almost completely went away.
Yeah.
So again, we're here to kind of help walk with you, walk alongside you to discover what it is that's going to help your body heal and figure out what is inflaming you. So absolutely thankful to have Molly here. She is such an asset, so I highly recommend folks come in and utilize her services as it's instrumental to the healing process, in my opinion.
All right, we got to run. We'll have to do this again. How do we find you?
Give us a call at 712-339-6024, and we are off of Highway 71 in Spirit Lake, and you can certainly give us a call at any time to schedule a discovery call with me that's free of charge to learn more about the services we offer. The front desk is always willing to give you a tour through the clinic. And, we're here. We're excited to get you feeling your best.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just surviving the day, it's thriving the day. Dr. Meyer and Molly, thank you so much for your time this morning. We'll chat again soon.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. That's Dr. Bradley Meyer and Molly Avery. Molly, a functional nutritionist and detox specialist at Okoboji Wellness Clinic. You can find out more at okobojiwellnessclinic.com.